Those were guaranteed by the Bill of Rights. Not anymore. And in fact, in many parts of the country, people still don't have those rights. But our leaders said they had no choice but to take them away. This was a medical emergency. It was more important than your rights. They were lying. We always thought they were lying. Now we know for sure. Because today we have an open letter signed by more than 1,200 doctors, professionals, and public health officials. And it explains that the riots you're watching must be allowed, while any other demonstration, like one you might participate in, must be suppressed. Quote, as public health advocates, we do not condemn these gatherings as risky for COVID-19 transmission. But they clarify, this should not be confused with a permissive stance on all gatherings, particularly protests against stay-at-home orders. Those actions not only oppose public health interventions, but they are also rooted in white nationalism and run contrary to respect for black lives. In other words, anybody who complains about being locked down is racist, except the people who refuse to be locked down because they're protesting racism. Heads I win, tails you lose. These are public health officials. This is insanity. Just days ago, you were told that any kind of gathering could kill thousands of people. You'd be a murderer. You'd be a genocidal murderer. That was before we learned that viruses have their own woke political agenda. And so the only rallies we should ban are those being held by people who have the wrong ideas, people who want to earn a living or go to church. Those protests are racism. Oh, and this is all coming from people who lecture you about science, who wouldn't recognize science if they got in the shower with them, but they're still lecturing about science, which is always a pretext for ways to destroy our country and control your life. And by the way, to fleece you. Why are we paying for any of this crap, by the way? That's a question we're going to address in some detail next week. But right now, it's enough to know this is a sham. It was a front for tyrants to inflict their personal neuroses and their desire for control on the United States of America and to do it outside the democratic process, outside democratic norms. Every person who signed this letter is a faker. None of them represent science. We should never listen to any of them again.